Xiao Ocean, do you know? The guys are actually going to challenge me today. Who am I? The jade-faced dragon dance king challenging me. I don't know if it's alive or dead. Wen Tao was still reminiscing about the victory just now, his face beaming with excitement. The girl didn't think there was anything to be happy about. She sighed silently, her cute round face barely making it squeeze out a smile and say, Brother Wen, have dinner. Okay, anyway, I'm also hungry. Wen Tao left the bedroom with the girl and went downstairs to the dining room. For small dishes were already set up on the small table, emitting a tempting aroma. The girl served Wen Tao a bowl of rice, and Wen Tao was really hungry. He picked up his chopsticks and wolfed it down. Those who didn't know thought he came from a refugee camp. The girl ate slowly. It only took a few bites when Wen Tao touched his belly and put down the chopsticks and bowls. Wen Tao let out a big burp, but he had nothing else to do. He started to boast about his glorious battle just now, and spit was flying everywhere. At first, the girl could tolerate it, but after listening for a while, she couldn't take it anymore. Suddenly, she put the chopsticks on the table. Wen Tao was stunned for a moment when he saw this, then pointed to the girl's rice bowl and began to teach her a lesson. Have you finished eating? Xiao Ocean, this is not right. There is still so much rice in the bowl. You are too wasteful. Uncle Farmer works very hard. Have you heard the poem? It's noon when hoeing the crops, so it drips.
Enough, the girl couldn't bear it anymore, closed her eyes and interrupted Wen Tao loudly.
The girl's name is Tian Yuan. She is 19 years old and comes from a rural countryside more than 400 kilometers away from the city. Her family background is very poor. To be precise, it's a bit miserable. Her father was hit by a startled cow while digging the ground and couldn't get out of bed from then on. My mother is also in poor health, with asthma and heart disease. There is a younger brother at home. In order to help him study, Tian Yuan went to the city alone at the age of 17 to work. As a result, he was spotted by Wen Tao at the home service center and called in to be a nanny at home. Wen Tao is a homebody, and he definitely needs someone to take care of him in his daily life. To be honest, being able to come to a family like Wen Tao is also considered lucky. The environment is comfortable, and there is no blame on the uncle. He still has 1,000 yuan a month, and his younger brother can go to school. The rural girl is very content. After 2 years of getting along, as their relationship grew closer, Tian Yuan began to worry about Wen Tao. Wenji, I haven't received much education and don't understand so many important principles, said Tian Yuan with a serious expression, which made her look cute. But when I'm at home, I often hear my dad tell my brother that a man should make a big career. Can you play at home like this every day? Wen Tao was stunned by Tian Yuan's words. He didn't expect a rural girl to say such things. He scratched the back of his head, feeling a bit embarrassed, and asked, What do you want me to do? You should go to work, start a big company, or become a high-ranking official. That would be so prestigious. Hetty, Wen Tao chuckled softly, revealing a strong sense of vicissitudes in his smile. Shao Qiang, you don't fully understand what your father said. No matter what men do, whether it's starting a big company or becoming a high-ranking official, they all work for a goal in their hearts. When that goal is gone, everything is the same. However, thank you for saying these words to me. Really, thank you. Faced with Wen Tao's sincere gratitude, Tian Yuan felt embarrassed instead. Her round face turned red and her voice became quieter. They just said it casually. Wen Tao suddenly slammed the table and exclaimed in surprise. What's wrong?
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Tian Yuan was startled by him. My dishes. Oh my god, those bastards must have stolen them all. Wen Tao shouted and ran upstairs, thinking about the dishes in his QQ farm. Tian Yuan collapsed on the dining table, feeling hopeless for Wen Tao, who was determined to be a homebody. However, Tian Yuan immediately sat up again, with a pair of beautiful big eyes shining. She had just thought of a way and turned around to take a closer look. She saw that Wen Tao had already run up to the second floor, and the little girl mysteriously slipped into the storage room as if she were a thief. In the utility room, there is a white plastic box installed on the wall next to the door, which is not much larger than a cigarette box. There are also several red, green, and flashing indicator lights on it.
Wenji, I'm doing it for your own good, Tian Yuan murmured, reaching out to turn off the switch on the white plastic box.
Huh, what's going on? After Wen Tao ran back to his bedroom, he found that his QQ farm could not be opened. Then within a minute, even QQ was offline. When he opened the browser, he could not access the web page. He checked his network connection and found that it was disconnected. It was fine before dinner. How could the network be damaged by dinner? At this time, the rain outside the window has arrived. The raindrops the size of soybeans hit the window, making a vexing sound. There is also a faint lightning in the clouds in the sky. Wen Tao stared at the computer for a while, thinking that the network cable should be broken, but it doesn't matter. Wen Tao's family always has various parts and tools for repairing computers and networks. He crawled under the bed, turned out the tool bag, then found the network cable calipers and several crystal network cable heads. The network cables we use at home are generally twisted pair cables with simple structures. There is a layer of PVC sheath on the outside, and there are 8 metal wires twisted into 4 pairs inside. The network cable is difficult to damage. The so-called broken network cable refers to the poor contact between the crystal head at the end of the network cable and the network cable. Replacing the crystal head can solve the problem. Wen Tao first used the caliper to peel off the outer skin of the network cable, and then cut the wire head. When he was about to install the crystal head, the thunder suddenly sounded outside the window. Just above the community, a lightning bolt like a mad dragon in the sea broke through the air and hit the telephone line adapter in the community with great accuracy. At the same moment, a white light rose from Wen Tao's bedroom window, and there was a half scream. Ah! Before Wen Tao lost consciousness, he was still wondering why he was punished by God. Although he had thought about molesting Tiang Yuan several times, he had not had time to carry out the action. Could it be that he could not even think about it? Brother Wan. Oh my God, why did you turn black? 120 is that 120, how? Doctor, I beg you, please, you must cure him no matter how much money it costs. Brother Wan, wake up quickly. Woo. I was wrong, I won't dare to do it again. When Wen Tao opened his eyes again, he was already in the hospital ward, with white walls, white floors and white beds in front of him. Although he couldn't believe that he was still alive, Tiang Yuan, who was sleeping at the head of his bed, couldn't be fake. When he moved his body slightly, Wen Tao gritted his teeth. It was so painful that it seemed as if all the bones in his body were falling apart. Tiang Yuan couldn't sleep well at all, like a frightened kitten, so she was awakened as soon as Wen Tao moved. Seeing that Wen Tao had opened his eyes and grinned at her, Tiang Yuan threw herself on Wen Tao and cried like a tearful person. After crying, she found that Wen Tao had fainted again. This time he fainted from the pain. It was a day later when Wen Tao woke up again. After hearing what the doctor said, Wen Tao realized how lucky he was. He was hit by a strong lightning, but he was not injured at all. Anyway, he had to stay in the hospital for 2 months. In these 2 months, Wen Tao lived like an emperor. Even his meals were fed by Tiang Yuan. If Wen Tao was not a little thin-skinned, he would probably not even have to go to the toilet. But Wen Tao found that Tiang Yuan had changed a little. She became depressed and often sat alone at the window of the ward. Wen Tao also tried to ask her, but she always smiled immediately, although even a fool could see that she was pretending. 2 months later, Wen Tao and Tiang Yuan returned to their long-missed home. As soon as they entered the door,